Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Jaya Krishna. Hare Krishna. Jai Radha Madhava Jai Bihari Radha Madhava Jai Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Jai Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Givardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Givardhari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jai Bihari Radha Madhava Jai Bihari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gaur Premanande. Jai Om Vishnupad Sanskritaya Such Divine Grace Abhishan Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Sanskritaya Such Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj Ki Jai. Srimad Bhagavad Puran Ki Jai. Samaveta Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloki Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki. Verse 4. Canto 10, chapter 54, verse 14. Tatapi aham na sochami. Tatapi aham na sochami. Naha prahashyami karishit. Na prahashyami karishit. Kalena daivena yuktena. Kalena daiva yuktena. Janan vidravitam jagat. Janan vidravitam jagat. Tatapi aham na sochami. Tatapi aham na sochami. Nah prashyami karishit. Na prahasyami karishit. Kalena deva yuktena. Kalena deva yuktena. Janan vidravatim jagat. Janan vidravitam jagat. Tatapi ham na sochami. Lena Pina. Word meaning. Tatapi, nonetheless. Aham, I. Na sochami, do not lament. Na prasyami, do not rejoice. Karishit ever. Kalena by time. Deva with fate. Yuktena conjoined. Jnanan knowing. Vidravitam driven. Jagat the world. Translation. But still I never lament or rejoice, because I know this world is driven by time and fate. Purport. Having stated that the Supreme Lord controls this world, Jasanda explains the specific method of control. It should be remembered that in the Vedic context, kala or time does not refer merely to a system of measuring planetary systems, such as days, weeks, months, and years, but rather to the way things are being moved. Everything is moving according to its destiny, and this destiny is also described as time, since everyone's destiny is revealed and imposed by the movements of time. Text 15. Adunapi vayam sarve veera yatapa yutapa parajita falgu tantre yadupi Krishna palite. And now all of us, great commanders of military leaders, have been defeated by the Yadus, and their small entourage are protected by Krishna. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapadakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhan Vitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate गोपीश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां भवनेभ्यो वैष्णवभ्यो नमो नमः हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपीश गोपीकांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So the title is The Marriage of Krishna and Rukmini. In this chapter, we hear that our Lord Krishna is kidnapping Rukmini and bringing him to this capital. And all the opposing enemies are ready to fight. They are following the Yadus to fight with them. So thereafter, Jasanda is consoling Shishupal. But Rukmini was in anxiety because the commanders, opposing enemies, when they were following the Yadus, they were showering arrows. And Rukmini was very in anxiety. She was disturbed, and Lord Krishna, just seeing her, told her, "Don't worry. Within time, everything will be okay. The Yadus will defeat all the opponents." And after the Yadus, Balram along with the Yadu and all the commanders, they defeated the opposing army, which was led by Jasanda. And Jasanda then consoled Shishupal that it's a matter of time. Time is not favorable with us. I was also defeated 17 times, but I became victorious one time. So don't worry, we shall come back again with this. and so everybody left Shishupal, and Shishupal also left the battlefield. Then Rukmi, the brother of Rukmini, he along with the army went to fight with Krishna. Then he rode on his chariot and went all alone to fight Krishna with his sword and arrows. And Krishna broke all the arrows and defeated Rukmi, the brother of Rukmini. And Krishna was about to kill Rukmi with his sword. And Rukmini, because Rukmi being the brother, she pleaded for Krishna that forgive him. Truly is my brother. And Balram also told that then Krishna, instead of killing him, disfigured Rukmi by cutting his hair in different places. And Balram told that it's not good to kill a relative. It's just like an insult, by cutting off his hair. He's just leaving his dead like. And Rukmi took a oath that he won't go back to Kundina, the capital of Vidarbha, as long he does not defeat Krishna and come back. Still he won't come back. And then Krishna married Rukmini. He took him along with her to his capital. So this is the marriage of Krishna and Rukmini. And in this battlefield there were many elephants, camels, and donkeys like that. And they were all, the head was severed, and millions of head were severed all over the battlefield. Now Jasanta is consoling here to Shishupal. But still I never lament or rejoice, because I know this world is driven by time and fate. So everything is under the influence of time. So time and fate, it says, time and tide doesn't wait for anyone. Similarly here we can see everything is under the time. Yes, time. Bhagavad Gita, 5 main topics are explained, which about time is explained. Time is eternal. It's past, present and future. Now it's 11:28. We started the class at 7:30. Now it's 7:45. So it's gone. November 28, 30. This morning is gone. It's now 7 o'clock in the morning. 7:30. So it won't come back. So here similarly, Jasanta is encouraging Shishupal. Still, I never that he was defeated 17 times, but still I never lament or rejoice, because I know this world is driven by time and fate. Even Chanakya Pandit, he is a great prime minister. He was a great prime minister of India. He says Shan means like even a moment of time cannot be purchased. Time is very valuable. One should utilize this time in a right way. Millions of dollars cannot purchase time. So the time should be used in Krishna's engagement. All our energy, whatever talent we have, we should use in utilizing Krishna's service. So that's the right use of time. Because generally people in this world engage in sense gratification, or people, those who are businessmen, they know the value of time. They use the time in a right way. So in this chapter, it is because of on time. Srila Prabhupada's lectures, the discussion within devotees. Brahmanand Swami, Murari, Tripuri Maharaj, and Bhakti Sarupam Dhamma. So there's a nice discussion. How we heard about that everybody is a puppet. We all puppets in the hands of Krishna. So time is very important. Having stated that the Supreme Lord controls this world, Jasanta explains the specific method. You should remember that in the Vedic context, kala or time does not refer merely to a system of measuring planetary systems such as days, weeks, months and years. In the way things are being moved, everything moving according to its destiny. In this destiny or discuss time, since everyone's destiny revealed and imposed by the movements of time. Hare Krishna. So everything is under the influence of time. Yeah. That's wonderful. And then the next verse is and now all of us great commanders of military leaders have been defeated by the Yadus and their small entourage who are protected by Krishna. Yeah. So Jasanda also was very powerful, but uh, Krishna knew that because he heard from what's the name of that? Uddhava, that Jasanda was born in two parts and that he cannot be killed. And when the Bhima, Arjuna and Krishna, because on the order of Yudhishthira Maharaj was to perform a Rajasuya sacrifice, which was the king of all, because he wanted to become the king. He wanted to rule as an emperor, and he wanted to invite all the demigods and sages, and to prove that Krishna is the supreme personal God. Actually, he wanted to show to the world. And all the great sages had come. And in that Rajasuya sacrifice, he had to conquer all over the kingdom, universe. So he had to send all his brothers also just to different parts of the country. And Jasanda was he opposed to this. And Bhima, Arjun and Krishna, they dressed themselves, they disguised themselves as Brahmanas and went to his king and kingdom. And Jasanda was very charitable to the Brahmanas. So he knew that they were Kshatriyas because by the bodily personalities. So he told, I've seen you somewhere. So then they revealed themselves. Krishna revealed that I am Krishna and we have come to fight with you. This is Arjuna and this is Bhima. So Jasanda told you ran from the battlefield and you were in the sea, you made a palace in the sea and you had yourself. So you are not a proper company. Yes. Combat. So as far as Arjuna is very younger, so I cannot fight with him. Bhima is a right candidate. Because Bhima also possesses the strength of 10,000 elephants, Jasanda also. And so he was torn by Jasanda, could not be killed. So here it says, Yadus and Dasmaya who are protected by Krishna. So Pandavas, they were always protected by Krishna. So if Krishna wants to kill anybody, can Krishna. So Bhima and Jasanda were fighting for 28 days and the fight went on. And Bhima could not defeat Jasanda, he felt tired. Then Krishna took out a tree twig and indicated that he was born from two parts. So he twisted the twig branch and then Bhima understood and he tore off from his torso in half part. In this way Jasanda was killed. So here it's very wonderful thing. Like previous we heard about puppet, and before that, and the previous lecture was on class. We are all puppets in the hands of Krishna. So that was a nice. But we spoke about enemy. Actually, who is the enemy of a devotee? So he himself is an enemy of a devotee. He himself is an enemy. Nobody else is enemy because mind is with him always. Mind controlled, sense controlled. Then he is okay. Everything is okay. So and then we heard that different. The enemies about Ram. Ram was banished from his kingdom for 14 years. He was about to be a king next day, but his father Dasharatha had 3 wives, and one of the wives he had promised that you can ask me any benediction, and then she told that my son Bharat should become the king, and Ram had to leave the kingdom and he had to go to forest for 14 years. And we heard about Jasanda, Arjuna, the Pandavas, the Duryodhana, they were always envious about the Pandavas. They were trying to kill, but Krishna protected them. So enmity like that we can see in this pastime of Srimad Bhagavatam. And Prahlad Maharaj, his own father Hiranyakashipu, wanted to kill him in many ways, but he was a devotee of the Lord. He was fully surrendered to Krishna. He had the mercy of the Lord as devotee, and he was protected like that. And purification in this age, Kali Yuga, the holy name of the Lord is the best way. One has to come to 24/7. So unless we don't receive the mercy of a very highly elevated personality, We cannot come to that stage. That's here we can see about time, which says, let us puppet, like Srila Prabhupada says that any sincere man, he will be attracted to this movement because he will be feel obliged, because by distributing this knowledge of Krishna, by distributing these little creatures, because Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Dharman Parityagya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tvam Sarvapapyabhyo. So he is carrying the instruction of Krishna, these books. That's why Krishna says, any sincere man will feel obliged of our propaganda movement. By distributing these books, you are doing a great service to Krishna. He wanted to say everyone, Sarva Dharman Paritritya Mam Ekam Sharanam. He comes therefore. So anyone doing the same service that surrender to Krishna is recognized by Krishna. So this is the instruction of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, who is anyone who is preaching the message of Krishna is very dear to Krishna. So one how can become a Srila Prabhupada says, we are all puppets. I am a puppet in my hands, my Guru Maharaj, and my Guru Maharaj it goes to Krishna like that. So Krishna says Bhagavad Gita, Parityanama, he comes therefore to anyone doing the same service that surrender to Krishna is recognized by Krishna very nicely. That is stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Not Tasman Manushu. In the human society, nobody is dear to him who is helping preaching the work of Hare Krishna. It says in human society, nobody is dear than him who is helping preaching work of Hare Krishna. We are all set of puppets of Krishna. I am also a puppet. That also I am a puppet of my Guru Maharaj. So this is an interaction between Prabhupada and his disciples, and they are they were saying by Srimad Bhagavatam, hearing Bhagavatam, one becomes purified like that. So this instruction of Krishna here. So hearing is important. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. It's not said reading of this. It's said hearing of Krishna. Shravanam Kirtanam. Hearing of Krishna. So here it says, I am also a puppet of Guru Maharaj. If you become my puppet, that is success. Our success is that when we become puppet of the predecessors, Tadera Charan Sini Bhaktu Sanivas, to be in the society of devotees and to become puppet of the predecessor. This is success. So we are trying to do that Krishna conscious society and serve the predecessors. That's all. Hare Nama Kevalam. So we are all trying this Tadera Charana Sena Bhaktu Sanivas, to live in a temple and live in the association of devotees and perform devotional service. It's very powerful. In the association of devotees, only we can perform devotional service by our own endeavor, because the mind is very wicked. Can deride us from being Krishna consciousness. So that's why especially says Hare Nama. People will come, people will appreciate. It will take some time. Prasadam. Then Prabhupada's disciple asked whether you will like prasadam. Then Prabhupada said, distribute to all, to the guests, So we can see from this lecture, we can learn few things here. By distributing this knowledge of Krishna, we can become very dear to Krishna. By living in the association of devotees and rendering service to the Lord in the society of devotees and hearing about Krishna, this is very beneficial. Hearing about Krishna, speaking about Krishna, living in the association of devotees and distributing this knowledge to others, and distributing prasadam to all, like he says. Prabhupada was asked that. Even we can see in Prabhupada's life, Prabhupada single-handedly in New York, he used to clean the pots, he used to cook, and he distribute to whoever came. So these three things in devotee's life: to distribute this knowledge, distribute this prasadam, this harinam. Especially in this lecture, it's emphasized. When he was discussing with his disciples, Sri Puri Maharaj, Brahmananda, and Bhaktapurama Maharaj. So yes, any sincere man will feel obliged our propaganda movement. By distributing books, you are doing great service to Krishna. That's the first thing here. He says, Krishna recommends in the Bhagavad Gita, we are all puppets of Krishna. I am also a puppet of my predecessors, Acharyas. My Guru Maharaj, if you become puppet, that is a success. That is a success. Our success is that we become puppet of the predecessors, because we have to follow the previous acharyas. We have to become the puppet in the hands. We are all puppets of Krishna. Krishna's in hands, our strings are there. We are all dancing under the modes of nature, living entities in this material world. So that's the success, to distribute this knowledge to others, to follow the predecessor acharyas, to distribute. When Prabhupada was asked, you take prasadam, he said distribute to the guests. Otherwise, it's just like sense gratification. I want to enjoy, but I don't want to give others like that. So we can learn from this. People will come, people will appreciate our propaganda. It will take some time. Prasadam you dislike, Prabhupada was asked, and you say distribute to all the guests like that. So there's few things we can learn from this lecture. Distributing this knowledge. We have to become predecessors of the previous acharyas. We have to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. We have to follow in the footsteps of previous acharyas, and chanting Hare Nama Kevalam in this age of Kali Yuga. So Hare Nama Prasadam Bhakti three happen. Prabhupada is doing everything. We are simply like puppets. He tells what to do, transcendental management. So Prabhupada was then made a. He just empowered his disciples, and they all went all over the world. They were empowered by Krishna, and they distributed his knowledge. So Prabhupada is saying, one of the disciples is saying, Prabhupada is doing everything. We are simply like puppets. He tells us what to do, transcendental management. Hearing one who has given oral restriction nicely is perfect knowledge. Yeah, even to maintain a house is so difficult. To maintain a temple means it's not easy. It's in transcendental activities performed for the pleasure of Krishna. He says Prabhupada is doing everything. We are simply like puppets. He tells us what to do, transcendental management. Hearing one who has heard given oral nicely is perfect knowledge. Therefore, our Vedas are known as Shruti. You have to learn by hearing, not by studying. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam. It says by hearing. So that's the next one. Like we have to be puppets of predecessors, Harinam, Prasad, and now hearing is the emphasis given. The Shrutis are mentioned, hearing. Hearing is empowered. Vedas are known as Shruti. You have to learn it by hearing, not by studying. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. If we hear, then we can describe it very nicely. Janya, Shunya, Vishhaino. Anyone who is not taking seriously to Krishna consciousness is purposely committing suicide. It is not a sentiment, it is a scientific movement. But they did not come to understand. Therefore, purposely they are committing suicide. So the first thing in Bhagavad Gita I said, we are not this body, we are souls. We are pure spirit souls. That's the first understanding. We are not Indian, we are not American, we are Russian. That's the first basic understanding in Krishna consciousness. And then it begins from there like that. We are all spirit souls within this body. So in this way, there's nice pastimes in Puranjana. Also, there's Chanakya Pandit's Aishya Shana Eki Apina Labdha Saram Swarna Koti. Even one moment of life spent cannot be gained for millions of gold coins. He says, even one moment of life spent cannot be regained for millions of gold coins. One moment of time cannot be. Therefore, what greater loss is there than time spent usually? A moment of your duration life moment, not to speak of hours and days, but moment. He was counting moment to moment. So moment to not hours, not days. So this time. Time is there. We cannot cheat. It said, you cannot cheat. Kalena Sarvatra. For some time, for everyone. But you cannot be allowed to cheat everyone for all the time. That is not possible. That's one saying like that. You can cheat somebody for some time, but you cannot cheat everyone all the time. Yes, Shanina, Kalena Sarvatra, Gavira. So two things here. That time, Chanakya Pandit says, even a moment cannot be purchased. What to say, a day or week, and even a moment of moment cannot be purchased, even in gold coins, millions of dollars like that. So one who is actually advanced in spiritual knowledge of Krishna, this is a discussion of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Chaitanya Charitamrita. He was discussing with Ramananda Rai. Ramananda Rai was a king and he was from the Shudra actually, but he was a great devotee of the Lord. Whereas one who is actually advanced in spiritual knowledge of Krishna is never a Shudra, even though he may have been born in a Shudra family. So one who is in actually advanced in spiritual knowledge of Krishna is never. That also Krishna says in Kiba Shudra, Jai Krishna Tattva Se Guru Hoy. One who knows the science of Krishna can become a guru. So King Srimad Bhagavatam says about this, how a saintly person is coming across a brahmachari and he is blessing him that you die. And by blessing a princess, you live forever. And he's blessing a butcher that you don't live or die. So this example is about time actually. He's saying the brahmachari, like, it's this nice story in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4. King Purachana, being attached to fruity activities, karma kandya, as well kith and kin, and being offset with polluted consciousness, eventually arrived at that point, not very much liked by those who are only attached to material things. Yes. King Puranjana, being attached to fruity activities, karma kandya. So that's why this attachment is very deep-rooted, because it's not so easy to break, because 8,004,000 species of life, since time immemorial we've been going to attach in sense gratification. It's not so easy. So Krishna says, Manusha Nam Sahasreshu, out of thousands may endeavor for perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. It's not so. Krishna consciousness is a very scientific way. It's a pure knowledge, purified. Unless one is not fully purified, he cannot approach Krishna. To approach Krishna, one has to be purified. And that's especially in this case, Harina. So here is a nice story of Puranjana. He is being attached to fruity activities as well as kith and kin. Because one should give up household life, especially when you are 50. After 53, you may go on with 3 years to work, like, you don't have the energy like that. I'm married late, I'm working late. Sorry. Hare Krishna. So yeah, after 3 years, in this country, you get a retirement after 67 years. 67, by that time is gone. So you cannot, no. So yes. King, attached to fruity activities, giving the different examples, like, we can see also time like that. In different living entities, there are different time. Like, we cannot say Brahma's time and our. There are birds, there are animals. So much living entities are there. They also time. So this was about Puranjana. Actually, he was very attached to his kith and kin, and he was attached to fruity activities. So then the purport Prabhupada says that a saintly person was walking on the street and he meets a brahmachari, and brahmachari says that you neither live or not die, because everything is under time. And whereas he's saying to an princess that you live forever, because brahmachari, he is performing Krishna consciousness in this life, and next life also will perform Krishna consciousness. Whereas a princess, he is engaged in sense gratification, so he tells him to live forever. Whereas a butcher, he is living in a horrible situation. Yeah, he's in the midst of all animals, slaughter in blood, and after that also he will go in hell. Also, he will have to suffer for that. Yes, missed this part. Yeah, so we have to utilize our time in Krishna consciousness. That's the proper utilization of time. This is different examples. Because rising of sun and setting of sun, day gone. We cannot buy that time. So we can understand from these teachings of Chanakya, who was the prime minister, how he says even a moment cannot be purchased. And there's a nice popular saying also, time and tide does not wait for anyone. Hare Krishna. Chanda Bega. Sorry about that. Yes. Yeah. So Priya Shadam, very serious. Priya means very dear. Priya means which is not dear. So the word Yoshitam means woman and Priya means dear or pleasing. Death is not very much welcome for those who are too much attached to material enjoyment. So this is a nice statement here. So generally 99.9% we are on the bodily conception. So death is very fearful. Death is not very much welcome for those who are too much attached to material enjoyment, which culminates in sex, he says, in sense gratification. That who are much too attached to material. There is an instance in this connection. Once when a saintly person was passing on his way, he met a prince, the son of a king. And he blessed him by saying, "My dear prince, may you live forever." The sage next met a saintly person and said to him, you may either live or die." Eventually the sage met a brahmachari devotee and blessed him saying, "My dear devotee, you may die immediately." Finally the sage met a hunter and he blessed him saying, "Neither live nor die." The point is that those who are very sensual and are engaged in sense gratification do not wish to die. So in this age of Kali Yuga, the lifespan is short. It's not that there's a scarcity of eating, sleeping, but because of all the bad habits, people die in untimely way because they, if one is engaged in sinful life, he dies untimely, or is engaged in sin, especially in sense gratification. He says in the word Yoshit, in this word the words Priya Yoshitam, Priya very significant. The word Yoshit means woman and Priya means dear or pleasing. Death is not very welcome for those who are too much attached to material enjoyment, which is culminating in sex. In other words, like candle and the fire example is given. The fire stays here. So similarly it says Priya Yoshitam and now Priya. Priya means very Priya Yoshitam. Yoshit means Priya means dear, means woman, and Priya means dear or pleasing. Death is not very much welcome for those who are too much attached to material enjoyment, which culminates in sense gratification. There is an interesting story in this conception. When a saintly person was passing on his way, he met a prince, the son of a king, and blessed with saying, "My dear prince, may you live forever." The sage next met a saintly person and said to him, "You may either live or die." Eventually the sage met a brahmachari and blessed, saying, "My dear devotee, you may die immediately." While finally the sage met a hunter and blessed him, saying, "Neither live nor die." The point is that those who are very sensual, are engaged in sense gratification, do not wish to die. This plan making is going on in material world. There's a nice story which comes. There was a very wealthy person, and he was saying to the doctor that give me some time. I'll give you this whatever money you want, like that. And time came in, he had all the best doctors, everything. There's another in his time came and kicked him off, what plan making. So generally in this world, everybody is trying to lord over nature, everybody is making their plans like that. It's only in the mind, they are just working hard that I'll be happy in this way. Everybody is planning in their mind like that. Because in the mirage there is no water. The grass is not green, it's grey actually. So these different examples are given here now. Even we can hear the story of Alexander the Great. He conquered all over and he came across a thief. And he told, "What's the difference?" The thief said him, "What's the difference between you and me?" He arrested the thief. And you're a big thief, I'm a small thief. You are conquering all over countries and I'm going this. Then Alexander got a realization, King Alexander, and he stopped conquering all over the countries. And then he told his best 4 doctors should carry his body and all the wealth should be kept surrounded, gold coins. And so he had all the wealth, he had all the this, but time came he could not save himself like that. So that was instant. He came empty-handed, went. Here, similarly, with this different example is given: a person who is killing animals, a person who is a brahmachari, 70% devotee, and a princess like that. The princess is engaged in sense gratification. He tells him to live forever. He says, the hunter, you don't live or die. Because it's the same thing. So generally, a prince has enough money to enjoy senses. Therefore, the grace says that he should live forever. For as long as he lived, he could enjoy life. But after death, he could go to hell. So this is a good this. It says Brahmachari will live forever for the princess is saying. And the sage is saying you should live forever. For as long as he lived, he could enjoy life. But after death, he would go to hell. Because he has enough of this wealth, he will engage in sense. The Brahmachari was leading a life of severe austerities and penance in order to be promoted back to Godhead. The sage says that he should die immediately, so that he not continue labor hard and instead go back home, back to Godhead. A saintly person may either live or die, for during his life he is engaged in serving the Lord, and after his death he also serves the Lord. Being a saintly person, he is engaging in devotional service of the Lord means he has made his body spiritualized. It's just like fire. Iron is put in the fire, it becomes spiritual like that. In other words, it's material nature. We are under the modes of material nature, very strong. We are struggling with our body and mind, the senses. Actually, this material nature is controlled by the Lord. So we are all controlled. We are controlled. Ultimately, Krishna is the controller. That life, both in he serves the Lord. Since the hunter lives a very ghastly life due to killing animals, he'll go to hell. When he dies, he advises neither live or die. King Puranjana finally arrived at the point of old age. In old age, the senses lose their strength, and although an old man desires to enjoy senses and especially sense gratification, he is very miserable because his instruments of enjoyment no longer function. Such senses are never prepared for death. They simply want to live and extend their life by so-called scientific advancement. Some foolish Russian scientists also claim that they are going to make man immortal through scientific advancement. Under the leadership of such crazy fellows, civilization is going on. Cruel death, however, comes and takes all of them, despite their desire to live forever. This type of mentality was exhibited at Hiranyakashipu. In the time of Swipe, Lord personally killed him with a second. So Srimad Bhagavatam, there's nice pastimes of Hiranyakashipu. He did not want to become immortal. He took all the benediction. Brahma said that even I am not immortal. So he gave him benediction, asked the benediction, I am not killed by any human being, not any weapons, like that, but still he was killed. So we can say in old age, especially when he wants to enjoy, especially materialistic way of life is like that. So they do not want to die. They say want to live, extend life. So there are many things they want to become immortal. There's many scientific advancement they want to make this, but that's not possible. So there's a nice pastimes in a Gandharva. There was a king named Chandavega. There was 60 very powerful Gandharva soldiers. Time is figure described as Chandavega. Since time and time wait for no man, time is here. It's called Chandavega. So another word is given in the example is given of a king Chandavega in Gandharva Loka. So time is Gandharva is like they are very good singers, like their music and Gandharva are from the different planet, heavenly planets, like they're very beautiful. So here it says, time is described as Chandavega. Since time and time wait for no man, time here is called Chandavega, which means very swiftly passing away. As time passes, it is called in terms of years. 1 year contains 360 and soldiers of Chandavega here mentioned in these days. So time is calculated in terms of year. 1 year contains 360 days according to that. And the soldiers of Chandavega here mentioned in this time. So we heard about that. Actually, time is not consisted in weeks or years or days like that actually from Vedic. Chandavega's powerful soldiers Gandharva very swiftly represented. This time passes swiftly. Chandavega's powerful soldiers Gandharva very swiftly carry all the days of our life. Says Chandavega's powerful soldiers of Gandharva Loka very swiftly carry away all the days of our life. As the sun rises and sets, it snatches away the balance of our lifespan. Thus, as each day passes, each one of us loses some of life's duration. So, as each day passes, we lose our duration, like that it says here. The time takes away our duration of life. It therefore said that duration of one's life cannot be saved. But if one is engaged in devotional service, his time can be taken away by the sun. Cannot be taken away by the sun. It says, each day the time goes as rising of sun, but one who is engaged in devotional service, the sun cannot take away the time, it says. In Srimad Ayur Harati Vaipumcham Udhyan Astam Chayan Aso. The conclusion that if one wants to make himself immortal, he should give up sense gratification. By engaging oneself in devotional service, one can gradually enter the eternal kingdom of God. So when he is engaged in sense gratification, he will die untimely death actually. He says the conclusion is that if one wants to make himself immortal, he should give up sense gratification. By engaging oneself in devotional service, one can gradually enter into the eternal kingdom of God. Hare Krishna. Nice statement, huh? By engaging in sense gratification, you lose your lifespan. But by engaging in devotional service, even the time cannot take away. Mirages and other illusion things are sometimes going on. Our losing our life is taken as advancement of age. This impulse passing away of the day of life is referred in this book Gandharvas. Such Gandharvas both male and female. This indicates that both men and women lose their lifespan impulsively by the force of time, which is here described as Chandavega. So both, because on bodily conception, actually they lose their lifespan, whether it's man or woman. Along with Chandra, many female Gandharvis, as there were soldiers, all of them repeatedly plundered all the paraphernalia for sense enjoyment. The days have been compared to the soldiers of Chandavega. Night is generally a time for sense enjoyment. Days are considered to be white and nights are considered to be black. Or for one point of view, there are two kinds of night, black night and white night. All this day and night combine to pass away our span of life, and everything we manufacture for sense gratification. Material activity means manufacturing things for sense gratification. This says material activity means manufacturing things for sense gratification. The days have been compared to the soldiers of Chandavega. Night is generally a time for sense enjoyment. Days are considered to be white because the days here is compared to Chandavega. Soldiers of Chandavega. And night is compared to sense gratification. So day is considered as white and night is considered as black. So there are two nights, black night and white. All these days, night combined together pass our span of life. Everything we manufacture for sense gratification. Material activity means manufacturing things for sense gratification. Scientists are conducting research to find out how we can satisfy our senses more and more elaborately. In this Kali Yuga, the demonic mentality is employed in manufacturing various machines to facilitate the process of sense gratification. It says the scientists are conducting different ways for sense gratification, and in this Kali Yuga, the demonic mentality is employed for sense gratification. Employed in manufacturing various machines to facilitate the process of sense gratification. So they are creating many machines facilitate process for sense. There are so many machines for ordinary household activities. There are machines for washing dishes, cleansing the floor, shaving, clipping hair. Today everything is done by machine. Hare Krishna. This we can see even in remote villages also, that if there are river, they wash their clothes. If they have two pair of clothes, they wash their clothes and then they use the other cloth dry, because by sun it dries like that. Now he says scientific, there are various ways they are creating for sense gratification. The Prabhu goes on to give the example of household activities. There are machines for washing dishes, like especially we are in Chicago. Chicago is very cold. The electricity is very costly. You have to use heater, you have to use machine, and now they have increased the prices like anything. So it's very costly. Then he has to work very hard for that. There are machines for washing dishes, cleansing the floor, shaving, clipping hair. Even shaving also, there are so much machines now. Cleansing the floor also, there are so much things now. Right? Today, everything is done by machine. All these facilities for sensory described in the word sarva kama. The time factor, however, is so strong that not only is our span of life being expanded, but all the machine and facilities for sense gratification are deteriorating. Therefore, in this verse, people use everything is plundered from the very beginning of very lives. So everything, as soon as one is born, time takes away everything. The plundering of our position and lifespan begins with the day of our birth. One day we will come and death will finish everything, and the living entity will to enter another body to begin another chapter of life. Again begin life cycle of material sense gratification. Saying plundering of our positions and lifespan begins with the day of our birth. One day will come when death will finish everything and the living entity will enter another body to begin another chapter of life and again begin the cycle of material sense gratification. So again he is put in a womb, different womb. The time begins from when in the womb of mother, time starts to go like that. So Prahlad Maharaj describes the process punas charvita charvaram, chewing the chewed. The same eating, sleeping, depending, gratifying senses in all species of life, in all life. Put in the womb of mother, then again you come back, you do the same thing, chewing the chewed. Materialistic life means chewing the chewed again. The central point of material life is sense gratification. In different types of body, the living entity enjoys various senses and through creating various types of facilities, chews the chewed. Whether we squeeze with sugar out of sugar cane with our teeth or a machine, the result is the same, sugar cane juice. We may discover many ways to squeeze the juice out of the sugar cane, but the result is the same. This is a nice example here. Suppose you have different types of various types of bodies and you have different senses and you are creating facilities, but the program is saying chewing the chewed. Like the example is saying whether we are chewing a sugar cane with our teeth or we are with a machine. The result name is sugar cane juice. We may discover many ways to squeeze the juice out of sugar cane, but the result is the same. Or another example is then suppose you eat in a golden plate or you eat in a silver plate or you eat in a mud plate. The taste is the same like that. So if you think that if I can enjoy sense gratification in other things, that something is the taste is the same thing like that. So this are the few words from Srimad Bhagavatam, the example giving of a brahmachari and a hunter and a princess like that. Different blessings, but they are under time like that. And then the next example, the sage is giving them the different blessings like that. And then the days are compared to white and night is dark. Material active means sense gratification. And then the scientists are trying to create many machines to input, but whatever you in ways, same thing, chewing the chew like that. Time, we cannot stop it, we cannot become eternal. When King Gandharvaja, Chandravika and his followers began to plunder the city of Puranjana, a snake with 5 hoods began to defend the city. When one is sleeping, the life air remains active in different themes. The 5 hoods of the snake indicate that life air is surrounded by 5 kinds of air, known as prana, apana, vyana, udana and samana. When the body is inactive, the prana or the life air is active. Up to the age of 50, one can actually work for sense gratification. But after the 50th years, one energy decreases. Although one can with a great strain work for 2 or 3 more years. Whereas up to the 55th year, thus the 55th year is generally taken by government regulates the final year for retirement. The energy which is fatigued after 50 years is figuratively described as a serpent with 5 hoods. So one should retire after 50 years. This energy which is fatigued after 50 years, one should engage fully in Krishna consciousness. Then the time is right use of time. But Prahlad Maharaj says, Kaumaram Yovanam. From childhood, one should take to Krishna consciousness seriously, sincerely. Very nice here. When we are sleeping, there are 5 types of air. Udana, like that. Prana means life force. Apana, Vyana, Udana and Samana. When the body is inactive, the life is active. So up to the age of 50, so our lifespan is depends on our breathing also like that. So up to the age of 50, one can actually work for sense gratification. When it's actually working for that means he's decreasing his lifespan. Yes. In a sense, when up to the age of 50, one can actually work for sense. But after the 50th year, one's energy decreases. Although one can with great strength work for 2 or 3 more years, perhaps up to the 55th year. The 55th year's government regulation determined. The energy which is fatty after 50 years is described as serpent with 5 hours. So in Kali Yuga, people don't live up to 60 also, 40, 50. That's too much like they. So yes, also it's predicted in Kali Yuga lifespan will become more or less. So one has to control the senses, control the mind. That's when we come in impurities, we come, especially when the big hospitals, people become sick. Why? Because they come in contamination, impure. They come in impure. They contact. They become sick like that. Any comments? Any questions? Excellent. Yeah, I spoke from. Yeah, you can think of that. Prabhupada emphasized on these things. Prabhupada showed his own example of distributing books, prasadam, and the holy name, especially in this age of Kali Yuga. So anybody will be attracted, sincere man, to this propaganda. Anybody who is distributing this knowledge is very dear to Krishna. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, and Krishna also says surrender to Krishna, and that's the same thing we are carrying on. Any comments? Any questions? Then we heard about Chandabega. Then we heard of the Brahmachari. Thank you, Pastor. Yes. So we are all puppets of Krishna. We have to follow the predecessors, acharyas. And hearing is important than reading. By studying Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, hearing is very important. Yes.
I was appreciating your appreciation of one of the statements that you read, that regular activities are just leading to death, whereas spiritual activities are basically leading to immortality. So I was appreciating.
Yeah, rising of sun, setting of sun, the day goes, but the time used in devotional service is never goes vain, whereas in materialist activities. And the example is given like sugarcane, you take out by machine or you take by this, the same thing. Materialist activities is like that, increasing the material fever. Yes, Prabhu. Srimad Bhagavatam Puran ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.